All right, welcome to day 10 of our Essential Oils Made Easy. Basically a essential oils class broken down into smaller sections so that you can A, see what would be in a class, and B, watch certain parts if that helps you. And then, if you want to have a class, then you know kind of what's incorporated in a class. And yeah, so that's what we're doing on live today and for pretty much the rest of July. So this day is, like I said, day 10. And the top 10 oil that we're going to talk about today quickly is tea tree or melaleuca. So tea tree, my experience with it, 99% of it having to do with it for things like pimples. There's the hilarious story about how I basically keep breaking out even though I'm almost 50 years old. There was a period between 30, probably four, I don't want to say 4 years ago. I started with doTERRA it's on 3 years. So I would say, I would say 4 years ago, I was still breaking out all the time. And people were saying, oh, you know what, it's probably, pre-menopause. And I was just like, I don't want to acknowledge that. So we're just going to ignore that. And we're going to say that I'm getting pimples. And I used to use tea tree on them when bumps would arise. And I'd be very tempted to scratch. But I know I shouldn't scratch, so if I put something on it, it would make me feel better. And so I would put tea tree on, and that's kind of what I was doing actually, a different, just over-the-counter tea tree until I got with doTERRA. And then my most recent story has been really, I have a granddaughter, so speaking kind of segues into what I was going to say. So yes, I'm old enough to have a granddaughter. If I was old enough to think I was premenopausal, and I'm clearly old enough to have a granddaughter. And she's 5 now, but pretty much since she was in daycare, and now she's junior kindergarten, going into kindergarten in September. Let's cross our fingers. She gets she doesn't get lice. I'm just saying that at that age, lice is very prevalent in the school system. And my grandbaby is mixed. So my son is mixed, half white, half black, and her mother is from the islands, except she's very, very fair. So anyway, Zoe, my granddaughter, is literally blonde hair, blue eyes. She looks a lot like my son's father's side of the family. She has very fine hair. Whenever there was a lice outbreak at the daycare, she was always checked like 10 times. And twice in the last 4 years, she has gotten lice, where we initially would go and buy the over-the-counter lice shampoo, which I don't have that much of an issue with. I get there's chemicals in it or whatever, but I will say that there's melaleuca in it, right? So that's a key ingredient. What's nice is that I use the melaleuca in a spray. We use it to dampen her hair so we can, put it up in a ponytail and we can style it and everything. She needs it dampened first because she's got this like fine blondish brown hair, and melaleuca is one of the ingredients in it. And it's actually a spray that I made for myself, for my hair, for my braids, because they're synthetic and it tends to get a little bit itchy when my hair is first done, and the synthetic hairs close to the scalp tends to be a bit itchy. And so I made an anti-itch braid spray, which has melaleuca in it as well. So she uses that too. And literally we found that she has not had lice in all of junior kindergarten. She did not have it. So in the daycare before that year, she did. So anyway, that's kind of my story with melaleuca. In a class, I love to ask people, if their experience with the oils. So usually I get a lot of stories about using melaleuca and tea tree because that's a very common oil. What's nice, again, is that it is pure when you get it through doTERRA, so that's super important. And this one is also, you can ingest internally. So remember I described to you yesterday about the flu bomb. So the DIY that we use to kind of help us when we're starting to feel sick and we want to kind of stay on top of it instead of taking some sort of medication over the counter. I make this flu bomb. The M in flume, so there's FLOOM, the M in flume is Melaleuca. It's a tea tree. Okay. All right, so let's flip it around. Let's take a look at 10 uses for Melaleuca or tea tree. All right, so you can take it internally. So I just mentioned that. Promotes healthy immune function, supports gastrointestinal health. Okay, so again, use it when I'm in my flu bomb. That's mostly what I use it for when it comes to internal. Occasional skin irritations and blemishes. So I definitely use that. I actually put that in, I forgot to mention that it's in my toner, skin toner too, which is nice, cleaning effect, feels nice and refreshing. You can put it on your fingernails and toenails after showering to purify, keep nails looking healthy. That's another thing I did, is actually made a DIY with tea tree to put on cuticles. So it actually goes, on your fingernails and toenails, but I used it for cuticles as well. Add a few drops of tea tree to a spray bottle, water, use it on surfaces, okay, because clearly it's antiseptic. Apply it on the bottoms of the feet, inside shoes for refresher. You can add tea tree to water alone or with peppermint and lemon, and you get a mouth rinse or breath freshener. So that's kind of cool. Tea tree promotes healthy, clean looking scalp and hair. So like I mentioned, I made a couple of different sprays that we use, and that definitely helps us. You can diffuse tea tree to purify, freshen the air. So absolutely throw that. And when I make my flu bomb, not only do I make a roller ball to be able to put on my sinuses when I'm not feeling 100%, but I have to keep going on with things, I definitely diffuse flume. So I diffuse that in the air as well. You can also use tea tree to support healthy joint and joint function, soothes body soreness after exercise, and you can diffuse or apply topically to support feelings of open airways and easy breathing. So yeah, just super quick today. I really didn't have too much more to say on that, but if you have any questions about tea tree, shoot me a message, and we'll see you in a few days for the next 5 oils, and that'll cover our top 10. Thanks, guys.